It's here, the fourth installment of the greatest adventure ever told through the medium of podcast and then comic book. That's right, Authors and Dragons presents Chronicles of Calamity Issue 4 on Indiegogo now! Now that our heroic team are assembled, it's time for them to face off against their most deviant opponent yet, their own ineptitude, and also a demon horse. Funding now on Indiegogo with amazing art and almost as much laughter as there is gore, Chronicles of Calamity brings you a hyper-violent crescendo that you will not want to miss. Have no idea what I'm talking about? Missed out on the first 3 issues? Fear not, Wastrel. We're offering all 4 issues in digital format. That's right, digital. But if you fear technology, as you should, we've got gobs of physical hold-in-your-hands perks available. Gobs of them, I tell you. Go to Indiegogo now to see what ethereal delights await you. Chronicles of Calamity. The legend doesn't shut up.
This is not a test. Don't expect to be impressed. Put on your life vest. Sit down your armrest. It's time to stray from the grind. Don't take my hand, 'cause you'll find no peace of mind. Side quest.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Authors and Dragons Side Quest, the every other week non-game in which, well, we do something other than play a game, which sometimes includes playing a game, but that won't be this week. My name is Rick Gualtieri, and joining me today are M.K. Gibson, E.M. Kaplan, Steve Wetherell, and Robert Bevan.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Our side quest introductions are getting increasingly convoluted.
I hear that Drew's fingers, there was a problem with his surgery, and it just got worse. Like, he put the wrong fingers on the wrong hand, now they're facing the wrong way, so they have to redo it all.
Oh dear, that's
So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Oh well, he'll
it's not
probably
pretty.
join us next time.
We wish him well.
Nothing worse than a backwards hand job.
So I've heard.
For anyone
Right.
listening outside of context, Drew is fine. He didn't actually have surgery.
You'll be wondering why he's getting get well cards.
right?
It's like, what the fuck?
This is a carryover joke I did from Quest for Compass. When everybody got the bucket, I went into, like, I did, for example, like when I took over for John, like, John was getting sicker and sicker every time he wasn't there and I was running the show. So that's just my carryover joke, and I think it's so fucking funny, so fuck me.
He's just giving a reach around.
One of these weeks, Gibby's going to kill one of us off, and like we're going to be wondering why people are sending condolences.
Oh,
You're like, what's this GoFundMe? What's going on?
wait, I'm dying. All right, well, we should probably clarify what we're actually doing on the
What are we
side
here
quest.
for, Mr. Bevan Part 2?
I don't know. This is your map.
Oh, no, we're here for what are we here for?
You're asking me?
Nobody knows.
But
Nobody
we're
knows.
here-
We're here to
We're
kill
for
an hour.
audience questions. So that's all.
I'm hoping you'll pretend I'm dead so that people will start buying shingles.
It's what he would have wanted.
By the time this airs, it will be past my birthday. So my birthday wish is for you all to buy my books, and if you have time left over, please get some shingles. So
Books.
Oh, yeah, not just. I mean, you can.
no,
I
just
can't
whatever.
stop
Just,
you.
just get shingles.
Yeah.
Fuck it, get shingles.
It's his birthday. Do as he says.
All right, yeah, but we're here for some questions. Everybody ready for the first question?
Yeah, let's do questions.
Let's see if I
Yeah.
did this correctly. All right, so hang on.
I see you've set up some sort of visual accompaniment to the questions, Gibby.
I did.
Wow.
There we go. Zach of all trades, or Zach Oat for the abbreviations. What's the stupidest hill that you're gonna die on?
I think I answered in the chat, but I'm going to die on Blueberry Hill just to really fuck up everyone's day.
What hot take does anybody have about anything that you're gonna say? No. I will die on this hill.
Brendan Fraser sucks.
You son of a bitch. We were having this
You're
conversation last
still
night.
holding on to that.
He comes out swinging.
That's what dying on a hill is, Steve.
Bob
Alright.
chose violence.
He chose poorly.
But you've been very dedicated to Brendan Fraser. You've had a gripe with that man for some years now. It's even made it into your books. I think "Fuck Brendan Fraser" is written in one of your books.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
sure I remember
we
that.
talked about that last night. Found out Gibby hasn't read the shorts.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah.
Then that's why he doesn't hate Brendan Fraser.
He asked me why I'm a fan of his, and it devolved from there. So,
Why are you a fan of his if I told him to fuck off in my book?
No, I asked, how do you not know that I don't like Brendan Fraser?
because I just didn't know that. I thought, okay, here's the thing. I find him to be universally beloved, so I guess that never came into mind. Also, I hadn't read the shorts. I write a lot of things under my
talk about it
character's voice.
frequently,
Doesn't
though.
mean I believe those things.
No,
So-
I'm talking about me. I talk about this frequently.
It is series canon that he despises Brendan Fraser.
God, why have I missed this? Because it's I can understand things like Monkey Bone, or some people do and don't like Bedazzled, but The Mummy and
I like
Encino Man.
These are all.
Monkey Bone was fun.
It's all fuel in
School
the fire
Ties?
of my hatred.
The one where Joe Pesci's the homeless guy they take care of with honors.
I don't even know that
George
one.
of the Jungle.
Blast from the Past, that was fun.
Blast from the Past, great movie.
You guys are hurting me with every title.
We should have a Brendan Fraser movie night. It's
I
part of a
could use
hangout.
some time off.
See, now I know that Bevan has hated Brendan Fraser since before his return with
Yeah.
the whale and all that stuff. And
now
even
Now
it
he
makes
hates
it
him even more.
I know, and now it makes it harder because he's even more.
That's Academy Award winner Brendan Fraser to you, sir.
Yeah, so glad he bounced back from his troubles and is back in the spotlight again. Ben's just like, nope, fuck him.
He's in a fat suit. That's offensive to me.
So was Thor. So
Yeah.
I mean, you don't like Marvel movies. So yeah. Emily, what's your hill? What you gonna die on?
This is going to be a very Gen X kind of answer, but I'm kind of meh about so many things that
Yes.
I'm like, there are no hills that I would probably die on. I would just say, whatever. Go ahead.
Is there anything that could really piss off a fan?
Die in a gutter just like everyone else.
That I could piss off a fan? I can't do that. I'm lovable, goddammit.
Yeah, we need somebody who's on this podcast to be lovable, Gibby. Stay away from them hills, Emily. We've already got too many dead hills on this podcast.
Steve, do you have any?
I got a new one today, actually. I was looking through some of the new D&D artwork.
I saw that on Slacks.
I think this might be like my Ghostbusters 2016 as a shit movie hill. They're like, oh, you're going to die on that hill? It's like, no, I'm just going to be correct on this hill. But I think the new D&D artwork, there's something about the style. I'm not sure what the style is called, but it's very soft
Cream
and
puff
pastel.
and babies.
Everybody looks very kind of wispy and, oh, aren't we having a great time? I'm like, no, I want to see like muscular dwarfs with their veins popping out being enraged. I don't want to see them baking fucking cookies for each other. I understand, like, you want it to be accessible, so you don't want it to be like too hyper grim dark macho. Not everything needs to be 40k. I get that. But this has just gone right out the other fucking side. And I think there's something about it as I just feel weaker and less. I look at it and I just feel weak and like, I don't want to go on an adventure.
You're not wrong. I feel that way a little bit myself when I see it. Because here's the thing: it's not the D&D for me. We were talking about this right before before you guys saw it. It was Rick and I were chatting about it. I'm not going to begrudge somebody. Clearly, you are. I know exactly. Clearly, you are. But it's not for me. The era which I grew up in, like you're not. You are marching through like oceans of blood and death and pain to get to like the thing at the end, and it's not like let's all open up a latte shop and eat scones and talk about our rabbits.
I was going to say it's kind of like remaking Conan the Barbarian with Michael Cera, but then I realized no, I would watch the shit out of that.
That'd be funny at least, but there's nothing funny about this. It's just, hey, we're just hanging out in our fantasy world. It's like, fuck you, go fight an orc. Put your oven mitts down and fight an orc. But and it's not just the fact that they are in scenarios where it just doesn't seem very inspiring or adventure like. It's more like It's just the art style. It's very, very tepid, very weak, kind of very.
It's very fluffy. It is. It is. It has a soft pastel feel. It doesn't have that hard angle. And that there's
I
an
dare
art
say
swing
the
that
game
way.
is called Dungeons and Dragons. There's no hint of dungeon there.
Yeah,
Right.
kitchens and cookies. Hooray!
Yes, it does.
Have
It
an
does. Feel like
adventure.
kitchens and fantasy kitchens and cookies.
And I'm
That
not
is what-
saying there isn't room for that. There absolutely is room for that, of course. But you've taken
No,
something.
don't backtrack. Stay on the hill. No,
No,
piss
I
them
mean
off.
that could be a separate thing. Do kitchens and cookies. Do like a game, kitchens and cookies. It'll be fucking great for the people who like that. But if I saw like the dwarf is there baking cookies. Oh, and what a surprise! He's got a little cat walking around his legs.
Oh,
It's
no,
like-
you hate cats. Yeah.
No, yeah, but no, I like cats, but people are just weirdly obsessed with cats. And here's the thing: I know there's like some American controversy about stupid rumors, but dwarfs actually would eat cats, and that's the hill I'm going to die on. In the fantasy world, a dwarf would not have a pet cat. That cat would be in a sandwich pretty fucking quickly.
I feel like because you're a tall person, you and I'm short, you really should shut the hell up.
Well, we know you're a dog person, Emily, so
Yeah, she annoyed me today though, so I was picturing her on a spit.
Well, no.
It feels
listen,
like
no
Emily
one's
is
trying to hurt a
officially,
dog.
is
Like,
officially admitting to being a D&D dwarf.
you're actually a fantasy
listen,
dwarf.
Emily, no one is. If John Wick was about a cat, that movie would be over in 15 minutes because no one would fucking care. We
No.
will all go to bat and murder people for our sake of our dogs. We would not do that to a cat.
Yeah.
I am being a little bit sad. I do have a cat. I love her very much. I love the cat, but I do think this cat obsession is going a little bit too far.
I'm gonna
All
die
right,
on.
so mine is part comic book nerd, part fuck you, Bob, because I know you hate the Fantastic Four. But my hill to die on, which I have argued far too many times online, is the Thing can take the Hulk.
Oh,
Go
man, that
on.
is.
Go
I'm
on.
curious. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Because okay, so the Hulk is stronger, true, but the Hulk's a fucking moron. And
True.
every time they do a comic book matchup, the Thing pretty much just tries to punch it out with them, and that would be like me punching out Mike Tyson. I'm gonna lose. But he's also a lot smarter than the Hulk. So no, if Mike Tyson's coming after me, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna run over with a bus or something. I'm gonna play it smart. By
Mr.
the way,
Tyson, we
Mike
know
Tyson,
you listen to the
if you're
podcast.
listening,
so,
that's just a metaphor.
so Rick Gualtieri
No,
one,
no.
finds you intelligent, and two,
I'm on
wants to hurt
Twitter
you with
now.
vehicular
Yeah.
manslaughter. So that's
But what
good. You got a plan.
I'm
Rick's
saying
calling
is
you
between
out,
his
Mike.
Iron Mike's a bunk.
It's
Rick
about
Gualtieri.
fucking time.
I'm not answering my door for the next year.
Finally gonna get some viewers on this podcast.
Yeah.
I think my hill. I have many. Unfortunately, I live on hills. I live on far because I am just a natural walking contrarian, and I know that I'm a lovable asshole. So I've got far too many hills to die on. But one of my favorite ones to really just piss off. Like one, I think most musicals are stupid. This definitely includes what's that stupid time warp thing? Rocky Horror. I hate it. I find most Christopher Nolan movies to be kind of pretentious and overrated. That includes The Dark Knight. I don't enjoy it. But the one I really want to throw at the nerd's face today is that The Princess Bride is overrated. And the story of how Wesley became the Dread Pirate Roberts would have made a much better movie. There I said it. Every girlfriend I've ever had, like, oh, this Princess Bride. Like, you many times I had to watch the fucking Princess Bride because my girlfriend wanted to watch it. And Jesus, God damn it. Yeah, I get the comedy and the jokes and the walkie-walkie. Wesley, for 5 years, became an excellent sword fighter. He was almost murdered every day as a pirate. That would be an amazing movie. Why are we not watching that?
And how is he so much better than the guy that's been training his whole life?
Right, that's my point. What kind of artificial steroids has Wesley been on? What kind of pirate? Like what did he learn?
I will admit there is that part of me that like when he gets back, it's like, he's wooing his old girlfriend, and nobody bothers to bring up that this dude almost certainly has has the blood of hundreds of women, children, what have you on his hands.
Also, when I look at them, nothing wrong with Robin Wright, but I look at her back in the day, I look at Wesley, I'm like, Wesley, you could do better. I'm just saying.
We
I said
totally
it,
lost you on that one.
I think Wesley could do better.
The internet has judged your stupid Hilda Diane as a fuck you, because now we've pretty much lost Gibby's voice.
Yep.
Well, no, good thing we have the voice recording where I'll say it a third time. Wesley, you could do better. I'm just saying it.
Yeah, Robin Wright from Wonder Woman was way more attractive than as Princess Buttercup.
Ooh, we have confirmation. So everybody take it out on Emily, who doesn't have a hill to die on except for that one. Okay, moving on to the next question. Seldriana asks, what's your favorite smell?
We all laughed.
Bevan, do you want
It's
to start?
After I scratch my balls.
Okay, moving on to the next question.
Long sigh.
Yeah, I guess there's
Oh no, we're answering.
there's no topping that.
Bevan,
I can't give a real answer to this one. Let's move on.
come on. Well, give me a fake answer then.
Oh,
I have so many. We got an hour to fill. So
it's
fuck, we
bacon.
aren't. We're not moving on.
It's all right.
Cookies baked by dwarves.
Yeah, cookies baked by dwarves with fucking cat hair in them. I like the smell of. I actually really like the smell of a pint on a hot day. I know that's probably very predictable. Also, just when you get a whiff of cigarette smoke when you've quit smoking for a while, it's like,
Yeah, that's a
that
good one.
brings back
Yeah.
some memories. That fucking stinks, but you know, at the same time, I could mainline that.
Bevan, what's your real answer, or are you just gonna piss off Steve?
He don't want to hear his real answer. It's worse than the balls, I guarantee it.
Do you have a real answer, Mr. Bevan?
The balls was his dummy answer.
Also, I'm not hearing him at all. So
Sorry,
He's
I
actually
had it on
scratching his
mute.
balls right
okay.
No, I thought I was done with the balls thing, so I didn't have time to think of anything else.
All right. Well, if
Red
you want
is
to
nice.
jump back by something else, we'll have Emily's. Emily, what's your favorite smell?
Oh, there's a lot of good stuff. Let's see. I used to grow mint in my garden and also some rosemary and, citrus.
It's pretty good.
I want to change my answer to after Bevan scratches his balls.
Add a sprig of rosemary in there.
In his balls, just
Yeah.
like it's like one of those like Raphael paintings of Bevan nude with a sprig in front of his junk.
After you sniff the figures.
Hey,
they-
Blix, if
Bevan,
you're
you need some
listening, there's
rosemary
another
down
painting
there.
for you.
Ah,
Holly berries down there. Yeah. Rick, what's your favorite smell?
I'd say it's a tie. When I'm cooking my chili recipe, it's like a 3 or 4 hour
Cooking my
recipe.
children.
I just love how that smell fills the house. But
Okay.
generally speaking, like every year we grow tomatoes here, and I really love the smell of tomato plants.
Oh my God. They're so stinky.
Yeah. But like it's he's just checking his Italian card. I understand.
Could,
No, that's-
could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, like olive
Yeah, that
oil.
was-
I think for me, mine's a weird package smell. So when I was a kid, one of my most peaceful times
Bob
when
already
we
did
would
a
go
package.
camping, it's when I would get up. I'm a morning person. I hate to admit it, but I love getting up early. And when I was a kid, I'd go up early and go for bike rides on when we were camping, and I'd come back, and there's that smell of like pine, wood smoke, and bacon, all kind of like mixed together, like that outdoorsy, like we're cooking some fresh bacon on an open fire out there. That's the smell of the pine in the cold air and that crisp leaf smell, and just that wood smoke, that campfire smoke. That combination is just like, if I could put that in a candle, like bacon, wood smoke, and pine, like just shit. It doesn't get more manly than that. You just put a pair of testicles on the side and we're like, that's my favorite.
So if your farm is ever burning down, know that somewhere Gibby is like, oh, I love how that smells.
just pleasuring myself to your misery.
It all
Yes.
comes back to balls.
Yeah.
Apparently it does.
All right. Next question. Unless you, Bob, that was all the time. Anything besides
you
balls?
have confirmed my answer.
How did I just balls? Got it. Okay. All right. Next question. Back to Mr. Zach.
Well, not
or
just
Zach of all
balls.
trades.
My own, like my fingertips after
My
scratching my
own
balls.
brand.
Yeah.
Not just
I
anyone's
want to
balls.
Smell your balls.
Hear me out. We want specially selected premium ball smell. Not just any
Free-range balls.
generic brand for me,
I want
sir.
free range, organic, my own nuts. All right, Zach.
Go into a
Waltridge
restaurant.
asks-
This is not like a
God damn
Coke
it.
and Pepsi thing. Gibby. Go to the restaurant to say, how would you like?
No, we have Shasta
generic,
and Fanta. Which one do you want?
the generic ball smell. It's like, no, give me Bevan or give me nothing.
Oh, what would an unnecessarily grim/gritty reboot of this podcast look like? From
How
Zach
could we
Walters?
get more gritty?
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Christ.
Well, I
by the
think fairly
time you've
grim
heard,
dark.
by the time you've heard this, because this side quest is going to go out before the last episode we recorded. But I made a joke on the last episode that made me sad.
Yes, you did.
I think a grim gritty reboot of this podcast would just go completely around the circle, and we'd essentially just be playing a game of My Little Pony or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Instead of all the child murder, death, and it would be like it would be cookies and caverns.
Yeah,
What would you call it?
breaking out kitchens and cookies.
Kitchen and cookies.
That's the only way we can go. If we go any lower, we come right through the ceiling of that merry little dwarf making cookies for his friends. That's where we're.
I mean, you could turn this into like if you in the spirit of which it's intended, you could have like Steve's Stan's character secretly plotting to assassinate everyone. Emily trying to like slowly season people as she's trying to cook them. Moog actually eating them.
Something. I played in a game like that one time, and it fell apart because the DM. We drove the DM nuts because in the week between games, all of us were sending so much subterfuge to the guy that he's finally like, I'm done. He's like, all your characters are scumbags. Game's over.
Yeah.
Jorcer's comments would no longer just be insinuation.
Oh my god.
He's not joking probing the hole. He's just
Claudia
Orphans
would-
and dragons with none of the nuance and subtlety you've come to expect from us.
like there's a level of perversion and there's just the gross. So yeah.
Claudia would be wearing other people's faces.
Oh, nice.
Not just-
See that's in the spirit of the question. I am enjoying that.
Technically speaking, you are.
That's right.
Yeah,
Quality.
I don't see that. I can see that happening. You know, that doesn't seem too far out of reach of
Next
our current
week.
trajectory. Next time on Orphans and Dragons.
That's the thing is like that particular episode. It's one of my. I have a lot of favorites, but that opening when you guys are sitting in the bed and she's just skinning the koala, and you all are trying to sleep, but just watching her skin the koala and putting it on her own face. And I forget who I asked. Is anybody trying to go back to sleep? They're like, no. After what I just are you no.
Nobody's that grim dark. Like, I can't sleep unless she's skinning an animal and wearing its face.
Well, that was the Stampede of John's episode where
I love that one.
Claudia just said, can I cut the thing's face off? I'm like, fuck, I guess. Give me a roll for it. And like, you start hacking up its body and you got a little more refined with your thing. You peel the face off and they're all sitting in the giant Willy Wonka bed watching you guys. And that was,
My favorite moment from that episode in particular was Stan yelling, "Dad!" when the Johns are all running out.
I missed that one. This is quality.
We're great. If you listen to this, you go listen to it again. It's still out there on the internet. It's a good time.
In fact, you should. We need to boot those ratings back up.
Yeah.
Play them back through again. Play them on the podcast again. Share them with your friends. Let them run on repeat or loop.
Watch it on repeat. Why don't you? Yeah.
Go when you go to work in the morning. Just click up several of the browsers and let the YouTube runs on repeat. Trust me, it'll help us all in the long run. All right, so be ready for the next question.
Yes.
From our friend Blix, what is the funniest, most awkward, or brilliant thing you've done to squirm your way out of something?
Ooh.
Now, this can be sexual if you want it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was funny. It was definitely awkward, but a friend set me up on a blind date one time, and let's just say we weren't really compatible. Well, okay, let me just say.
Well,
I
you
wasn't
can
into
see
her.
for
She
a
was,
start.
yeah. Let's just say she was kind of into me. I wasn't into her.
Okay.
And but I didn't want to like just basically be like rude, and so instead my brilliant idea was to spend all night pretty much just flirting with waitresses and like everybody else that I could, just to kind of like give the idea
You turned into an alpha Chad?
pretty much. And at the end it did not work.
Oh my god.
He went home with like 12 waitresses and a woman.
No, like the next day I was just like, okay, I got out of that one, no problem. And I get a call from the friend who had set me up. He's like, oh, she wants to see you again. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Whoa.
She's really attracted to your confidence.
It's like,
Nice,
wow,
man.
this guy's so charismatic. Everyone loves him.
And ever since then, that's how Rick has lived his life. He's like, I learned that lesson once. You are like Mel Gibson, not drunk, just sup sugar tits to everybody.
I'm terrible at wriggling out of things. I have a kind of twisted sense of propriety, so I generally don't have any hilarious plans to get out of things. I just sort of like, oh, I guess.
Or what was an awkward
do
moment
this.
you had to get out of? Is this funny, most awkward, or brilliant? You know,
That's the thing. I won't get out of an awkward moment. I'll just see it through doggedly, like a ship
Right.
sinking.
okay.
Just fixate on, bring it
Yeah.
to the foreground.
It's just like, I just got to lean into this awkward thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something, but I usually just don't show up.
Emily, do you have one?
It feels like this happens every day. Something horribly awkward. But the one that comes to mind is I congratulated someone on her pregnancy.
Oh no!
I know. Why would I do that?
no.
Why did it come out of my mouth?
Because it was funny.
Well, it is now. But she was wearing one of those.
She's pregnant now. Okay.
She was Mormon. I mean, come on.
Oh, okay.
My
Well,
chances were good.
Yeah, cast some more stones there. That's another hill to die on. There's Mormons. Oh, and baby
I
factories.
thought I was
Everyone.
digging myself with mine.
Yeah, that was so awkward. And then it turned out that she like had a miscarriage, so she kind of looked pregnant. Ugh.
Ooh, right.
Oh, this just gets darker. Speaking
This-
of gritty reboots, Jesus.
I know. But then I said, really stupidly, "Oh, I meant your friend. Congratulations on your best friend. She's having a baby." And she was, thank God. But yeah,
She's
I
also
needed to
fast.
leave.
We've got to dwell the awkward. Does anybody have funny or brilliant?
All right, I've got one. This one's a little bit of a tale, so buckle in. I think I've told people this in the past. If you haven't heard it, I apologize. I apologize who have heard this. And anyway, enough gilling the lily. So when after I drank out of school, I had to join the military. I had no options left in my life. I had wrecked my truck, lost my girlfriend. I was one dead dog away from a country song. My life was pretty much in shambles. So my only option left was joining the Air Force. But the first thing when you got to join the military, you have to go up to basically a testing station where they like run you through like your physical stuff. You got your physical and do all this dumb shit. But so I'm at the MEPS. It's the testing station in Pennsylvania. And we're up there in the morning and I really have to go to the bathroom because I've had some coffee in the morning and several cigarettes. And anybody who's like knows what I'm talking about, like I gotta poop and I've got to go now. But they won't let me because I haven't taken the urinalysis yet. And it's starting to hurt. So I'm waiting. Eventually I get to the point where I take the urinalysis test. I pee in the bottle. I have to shut off one valve, opening another one. It's a pain in the ass when you're trying to you don't want to poop yourself, but you got to pee. So fine. I fill the bottle up. I start walking to the stalls and the guy goes, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to go to the bathroom." They're like, "Not in here, you're not." I'm like, "It's the bathroom." It's like, "We're getting a testing done in here." I'm like, "Buddy, I've got to go." He's like, "Not in here, you're not." So I asked the person running the thing, "Where is the next nearest bathroom I can go to?" They give me the most rudimentary directions in these Connex style buildings. And I'm like, left, right, fine. I follow the directions they gave me. I get to the room. I walked in and I'm in a rectangular room. At one to the left, one door leading to a doctor's office. To the right is the one room, hollow door bathroom. It's just a single person bathroom. And lined the entire way around this rectangular room are girls waiting for the gynecological exam.
Oh, God.
Yes. So I'm going to go into this bathroom and destroy it because what has been brewing in me for the last however is lethal. So I go into the I'm like, ladies, make a hard right, go into the bathroom, shut the door, and I realize there's no fan. This room is very and again, it's a hollow door. This is one of those more like it's a camper style building. It's like one of those little trailers they bring on for kids kind of thing, So it's like it is very clear what I am doing in there, and I am let the faucet run, and I do my business very loudly, very grossly. I can hear snickering, but then when I'm done, I have to sit there because I'm not leaving this room because I've been here 15 minutes sweating, and there's no way every girl in there doesn't know what I've just done.
He's still in there to this day.
Yeah, so I eventually said, you know what? I have to face the music. I could take 7 steps to make a hard left and get out of there. I open the door and all the girls are gone. Like, oh my God, I got out of it. I got out of this. Holy crap. Fantastic. We fast forward to the end of the day and I'm sitting there waiting for my recruiter to come pick me up. And several girls walk in. They're all talking. They're talking about the guy that shit up the bathroom. They're making so much fucking fun of him. And they're like, you should have heard of this guy. Now, what I realized was, like, yeah, he was wearing this flannel shirt and he had glasses on. I put my contacts back in, put my hair into my hat, and taken my flannel shirt off. And I'm trying to stuff it behind my back. But yeah, that sounds disgusting. What kind of guy would do something like that? That sounds like what a loser, right? And I am doing everything, just trying to do bluff check. Because like every girl knows, yeah, they heard me and they heard me well. And I'm just trying to be as cool as possible to get out of this awkward situation.
That's pretty good. I should always carry an easy to don and remove disguise with me.
And that is how I met your mother.
Yeah, and we got married 6 months later.
I awkwardly got out of that situation. There you go, Blix. Are you happy? My poop story is for you. Mr. Bevan, did you ever come up with something?
No, I mean, I'm still thinking. I just like I either don't show up
Think about your
or
balls?
if I'm already there, I just leave. It can be awkward, but it's a particular story.
I feel like you lean into some of your awkward situations, like
Very much so, yeah.
crashing down
I don't think you care.
crashing down the escalator or whatever.
Well, that wasn't awkward. That was just clumsy.
Painful.
That too, yeah.
All right, well,
Sorry.
next question then. No, you're fine, man. All right, back again to Mr. Zach of all trades. What education do you guys have, and what education do you need to be a writer?
Oh, Lord.
I've got an English degree, but I certainly didn't need that to be the writer I am.
Yeah, same here. I did all right with English in A-levels, but I did a media-based degree, more based around filmmaking and stuff. And I don't know. I've got so many writers in my Facebook feed and editors, and there's so many. It's like, oh, I've got strong opinions on the Oxford comma, and like, bad grammar really turns me off. I'm like, you can be the most educated about the English language there's ever been, and you can still have the literary charisma of Joe Biden humping a speaking spell. It's just, it doesn't. It's like, oh, I know where the comma goes. Fuck it.
The cow goes moo.
Yeah, it's amazing how like all these writers, because if you're a writer, you're going to get a bunch of writers friending you on Facebook, and but yeah, they post the most boring shit, and I thought, I have no desire to read anything you write.
Yeah.
Yeah, a while back, like Bob was making fun of basically writing memes and how they suck, and he was 100% right.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, just part of the artistry is getting all that stuff right to make sure your voice is conveyed as it should be. But the people who like really focus on that and are really smug about it, there tends to be an inverse sort of.
And it is so shitty to say as well, because I'm an indie, same as you guys, and my background was I don't have a degree in English. I didn't finish a 4-year school because I went to college and I fucked up. So I eventually finished my Air Force degree. I have an intelligence studies degree from the College of the Air Force. But my background in writing came from I've always loved writing. I took a lot of creative writing courses. But what I started, it's like anything else. When you start playing a sport, you start studying the sport. You watch games, you see how it's broken down. When I really got into writing, more so than my college and younger days, I didn't just read a story. I broke the story down. You read a few books out there, How to Save the Cat and things like that. But it's kind of when you're watching a movie or watching a show or reading a book, you're not just reading it. You're looking at how the sausage is made. Like, oh, by chapter 5, roughly, you want the inciting incident. You want this. This is a 3 acts. And you just practice. What you really need is an eye for detail and a creativity. But also, more than anything else, I would say the commitment to do it. Because a lot of people start writing, but then you got to realize that it's a process, and that it's like there's draft 1, draft 2, draft 3, promotion, editing, more editing. It's a never-ending process.
Yeah, I have a master's degree in fine arts and creative writing, but I didn't get that so I could write. I got that because I didn't know what the hell else to do with my life.
Yeah, I mostly have a degree because I didn't want to get a job either. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have a master's in I was supposed to have a master's in psychology, but instead I have a master's in human resources because they closed the department. I forgot I was the last psychology student. And since they didn't want to be sued, they basically were like, well, what if we gave you our next closest like masters? And at that point, I was just like, sure. Needless to say, neither one of those would have really helped as a writer. The education you need to be a writer is read a lot.
Yeah.
But that is true. Well, psychology will help. I mean, like we were discussing some of Bevan's characters last night with some of his fans, and like there's a psychology to them that he clearly gets across. And I just understanding why a person thinks a way and why they make mistakes this way, and it feels organic, But again, that comes from like what you said: read a lot, write a lot, practice a lot.
Yeah, I mean, most of my stuff is you fall in love with certain authors and the way they write, or even TV shows and the way they talk. A lot of what I know from dialogue is like watching Blackadder and Red Dwarf's got some of the greatest badinage fucking out there. And then you just kind of learn how to translate what you really like about that stuff into your own story. And the mechanics of it, like I did English lit, I did English language. I'm no good at English language. I'm not great at spelling. I'm not great at grammar. But I loved English lit because you're reading all these people who are, well, their editors are good at it, but more importantly, they're interesting. And, can tell us fucking story and a relatable character. And, so yeah, the translation, I understand there's like mechanics to it and education can help with that, but I don't think it's necessarily.
No amount of education can make you interesting if you're boring as fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
The good stories come from childhood trauma, like
the
rest of us.
Well, the thing is that you guys have hit this nail on the head many times. And I'll just be blunt. I've read a lot of books, and I won't name any writer, but this is technically accurate, and I am bored to tears. I can feel the structure, and there's no soul to it. It just feels very.
It's like technical writing. You and I have both done that.
Yeah. I mean, technical. I mean, it would suck the joy right out of something, but it feels like these characters are doing exactly what you expect these characters to do in this situation, and it's following such a formula, and it's following such a pattern of behavior that it's like and it's just there's a clinical, clean feeling to the style of the prose. And some people get, again, are you visual based or are you prose based? How many people purple up their prose because they don't know how to like actually carry a scene. You look at the difference. I will just use Tolkien. The difference is night and day between Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. The Hobbit actually feels like a story, and Lord of the Rings does not, by comparison. But and then also he'll fill in many chapters of like what they had for dinner that day.
Yeah.
But but we evolve with the times.
Well, you get something
cookies.
I don't even think like evolve with the times. Everybody's trying to kind of like, again, they say this is how you got to write a book, and this like you shouldn't purple up your prose. It's like, I still read Mervyn Peake, the Gormenghast trilogy. That is basically just a whole brick of purple prose. And I don't think there's a better, anybody better at sketching a fantasy character in the way they talk and move and places too than Mervyn Peake. And there's basically, I'm sure there's a story in there somewhere, but I don't give a fuck. It's great art. It's great writing. I wouldn't give a fuck if he was like missing the occasional, grammatically incorrect thing. Because the vision and the voice I think, should be more important than that. Because if you want generic bullshit, just go watch TV. There's loads of it.
See, I learned a lot because that's when Drew and I have had some conversations because he and I both just grew up watching television, and like I can't speak to anybody, but I know he and I have had this conversation. So we kind of we're very visual in our style. So if I can't see the scene as if I'm watching a show or a movie, I can't write it. So I actually take time to block out my scenes. Sometimes like I'll on a sketch paper like. The answers are here. They walk there. I love the Sorkin style walk and talk. You can start having a conversation as they walk down a hallway, so you can transition your characters from point A to point B. Because I read a lot of writers, people walk in like they run written like a play. They walk into the room, they stand by the couch, they have their dialogue, and the scene sets, and the next scene, and it feels stiff.
Yeah, nothing kills an action scene more for me if I'm reading it and visually in my head it's just a mess. Like people are teleporting all over the place. That is my thing. It's like, I'm visual as well. I grew up watching action movies.
Yep.
That's how I plot out my action scenes, like that. And when I read an action scene from somebody who obviously is not very good writing it, that usually just kills the book for me.
I will recommend to any writer who wants to do like an action scene. Like obviously when you watch Die Hard, you think, okay, John McClane, he's a one-man army, he's doing all this shit. Great, fantastic. Steps on glass. It's gross. Whatever. Don't forget the Al Powell character, because John McClane his human moments when he was on the walkie-talkie with Al, who's basically his con, is getting him through this together.
Yeah.
You need those heart moments. You can have the action, you can have the humor. Don't forget the heart, because you need those little things where it's just every once in a while to remind the character that they are people.
So I think, like, getting back to the parameters of the question, what education do you need to be a writer? Go watch Die Hard. Try to be interested. Don't be a pedantic prick on the internet.
There's that famous story where the guy Mario Puzo, who wrote the Last Don, which became the Godfather, he helped write the screenplay for that. And obviously the Godfather's the Godfather. So he got tasked to write some more things. He's like, I don't feel confident. So he went to a school to learn how to do better screenwriting. And what script did they give him in the class to practice on? The fucking Godfather. Like, he's like, well, this is a circle. Like
Step one. Yeah. Right. What you
copy this guy. It's like, well, shit, I wrote that. And I that was an accident. So
yeah, there is a lot of copy and disguise involved. That's the education more, I think, than.
That must have felt great, though.
That's it. Just like write A. I got an A and walk out of the class.
Just go to the teacher.
What was the professor doing? Handed it out and be like, "Oh, hey, look, the guy who wrote this is the same name as you."
Just style it out. Wait till the professor starts asking questions about it, and when he goes like, "Actually, your interpretation is incorrect," he'll be like, "Is it, motherfucker? Is it? Is it incorrect?"
You throw your fist in there like Bender at the end of Breakfast Club. And I walk out, freeze frame. Okay, we ready for the next question?
Let's do it.
Yes.
All right. Seldriana asks, where do you go to think?
Toilet.
Like any mom, I go to the freaking bathroom.
The
Yeah, 100%.
Next
My
question.
best idea is
Bevan's
to be when
balls.
I'm shaving.
Yeah, it's bathroom, either the toilet or the shower.
Universal.
I just tend to zone out. It really annoys people. I can start to have like a really deep thought while you're talking to me. I think this is probably a medical problem, but yeah,
that's
I don't have
low-grade
specific
narcolepsy, my
advice.
friend. You might want to see a doctor about this.
I'm not saying like the person I'm talking to is like not interesting, and like the job I do to make my living is definitely important because I need to be paid. But sometimes I'll just be like, I'm having quite an interesting thought right now. And I'll
Steve,
go
are you
back in and
shitting
go,
yourself
shit.
right now?
Is it an absence seizure?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I haven't started it shitting myself in public yet.
I go for drives. I music and either a bike ride or a drive with music. That's when I kind of zone out and just have my thoughts, especially when working on a project. I like long bike rides or
Do you live out in the country?
Semi-rural. I live in a fairly rural area right now, so it's like we're at my little developments. Every house is on an acre next to another house, but then I've got a lot of country back roads that I just go on these long bike rides. I put my earbuds in and just bike for 10 or 12 miles and just let music, because if I'm trying to think, I won't play an audiobook, or I just really want to think, just let music play, shuffle on Spotify, and it's just before I know it, I start talking to myself or start thinking about scenes or start thinking about whatever, and I just come to those conclusions. So yeah, I like that because my house feels confined. Even though I work from home, I feel like I need to get out. So
I kind of enjoy my own company in the car a lot, but I do just spiral into some unhinged shit. So I don't know if it's like useful thoughts. I mean, I'll be sitting there doing a Morgan Freeman monologue about Andy Dufresne giving out hand,
give me your best Morgan Freeman impression.
No, I can't. I'm not in the car. There's things I can do in the car that I can't do.
Close your eyes. You're in the car right now. Now do Morgan Freeman. Give me your impression.
Okay, I can't do it. All that.
I'm can you do
basically the punchline of the joke was Handy Dufresne, but it took me a good 10 minutes of talking like Morgan Freeman to myself to get there. It was worth it, but I had a great time. But I can't do that shit in real life, Gibby.
Well, you could.
It's for the car. There's the car moments.
All right.
You'll have to hide in my car.
Don't you have a weird name in British, you call it the Auto or something? The Auto?
No, it's just a car.
All right. Do you put gas in it or you put petrol in it?
We put petrol in it because it's a petrol car.
I you know what? I felt your smile over that microphone. I felt that. Next
Why
question.
put gas in it? Unless it's a hybrid, You lunatic.
From our friend JLD. This is a paraphrase because it was a long question. I pulled unfortunately, Drew's not here, but how do centaurs wipe their butts?
Tree trunks.
How do horses wipe their butts?
Tree
trunks.
trunks.
You know
Huh.
what? Maybe like in centaur bars, they do just have like a post that they can. I mean, horses have got tails, right? That's got to be for something.
I like to think centaurs have a buddy system.
Oh no!
You scratch my back
Yeah.
and I'll
Oh, yeah.
scratch yours.
You wipe my butt, I'll wipe yours. I like to think that they've evolved past such things. Hey, we're part horse. We shit where we stand. Sometimes you got to cling
Yeah.
on. Hey, buddy, I got your back. It's kind of like your mom would like you get that thing in your face right there. She licks her finger on her thumb and wipes it off. Same thing, but just you watch your friends. Watch your friend's tail.
They have very strong tail muscles. They do that, and then they do a little helicopter action with it to clean it off.
That's how hippos do it. They spread them up.
God.
Yeah, there's
They
a
do that,
video
that's how
out
they
there.
spread
Please
their
Google
scat,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Wish I was a hippo. Horses are see that's something I'd say to myself in the car. Horses have got a kind of diet. Well, like
my friend thought he was a hippo. He climbed the 7 miles of shit. Different
Morgan Freeman.
a Morgan Freeman hippo. I'd get like an hour drive out of that easy. I'd have a great time. If horses have a diet, right, that makes their horse manure kind of quite dry, so they're probably like
yeah.
there's not a lot of
Those are
wiping
horses.
need.
We're talking
Yeah, but
centaurs.
centaurs are like omnivores, right? So you're right. This
they're
is
people
potentially
with
a
the
big
horse
problem.
butts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of innovation for them, like some kind of like I don't know.
A bidet.
A benet.
You know what? It's the D&D fucking universe, Gibby. So probably somebody casts "wipe my ass" and then it's fucking
Prestidigitation,
taken care of. Yeah.
This was actually, and so if those who like Christopher Walken did an amazing sketch on Saturday Night Live many years ago where he was the administrator of a hospital, and one of the Chris Parnell played a doctor interviewing who was centaur, and all of his questions were centaur based. And one of the questions was, "How do you wipe your ass?" And that actually came up in that episode. So look up Christopher Walken centaur, and your next 4.5 minutes will be very well fulfilled.
Well, I'm glad somebody's answered it, then. And I'm glad it's Christopher Walken. Not the first person I would have thought of to go to with a with that kind of question, but
Yeah. He even asked him, like, is there centaur porn? And what I like it. He's like, well, you might, but you got to bear in mind there will be a horse penis involved. He's like, fair enough.
he's
So-
quite a versatile actor, I
Hey,
suppose.
he's a good actor. All right. Next question. That's the end. That's what I ended with.
Hey, we should have let Bevan talk about his balls more.
All right. That was the end of the questions.
Yeah,
I should have grabbed
next
some
question.
more.
Why haven't you guys asked us more questions?
No, they did. Unfortunately, I prepped this last week when we were supposed to do it. And like a few more questions came. I can go to the Discord right now and grab them if you want.
You
Just ask them out loud. All right. Hang on.
I mean, you've done this nice presentation and everything. It seems like we're
Yeah, but
sort of-
unfortunately, I don't have time to write them into those nice presentations. The rest will just be asked in general. So where do we left off? We
We
still
can
have about
wait.
20 minutes left to go.
in real time.
Where are the game questions? There we go. There's a section. Da. Yeah. By the way, Zach, every time you do a woodchuck, could chuck wood, I'm just going to bang you from that point forward. Okay.
I mean, that
Our friend
question's
Blix.
already been answered anyway.
From our friend Blix. Do you ever pantomime a character when writing or speak dialogue out loud to get a feel for things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I was-
nobody's doing Morgan Freeman. So.
No, but when I was talking about me zoning out, this used to, when I was married, like really piss off my wife. So I'd be sitting there thinking, well, we're doing grocery shopping. This is boring. And then she'd be like, what are you doing? I'm like, what? I said, you're staring at that guy like you want to kill him. I was like, oh, I was just thinking of a really cool action scene in my head with some like cool one-liners. And apparently I'd been like muttering and like staring at this guy, which, you know, that happens a lot. I'd kind of just zone out into the pantomime of a scene in an inappropriate place. Again, I may have some mental health problems.
Yeah, I don't do any like voice
Yeah.
out loud or anything, but I will, just like Steve said, I'll sometimes think of a funny line or something when I'm doing other things and giggle to myself.
Yeah, that also used to piss off my So what are you laughing at? Like, me, I'm hilarious.
Yeah.
I come downstairs to my wife, like, I'm the fucking funniest guy. She's like, I know, whatever. Like, I will congratulate myself all the time. And sometimes I walk around with I won an audiobook award, one of the SOVA awards in like 2019 for best humor, one of my villains books. And I will walk around with that thing in the house and show it to anybody whenever they say I'm not funny. So I do it all the time. I was funny once 5 years ago.
I used to do that when I was getting paid regularly to do comedy gigs with like shit, what did I write for? Maxim, whatever.
Correct.
So yeah, somebody say, you're not funny. It's like, actually, I'm a professional comedian. It's like, I mean, technically, that's not true at all, but it is the most annoying thing you can say in that situation.
Emily, do you sound out your characters?
I mean, I guess I do. One of the things that
You really went Southern on that. I guess I do.
I guess I do. But one of the things I do for sure is make my dog talk to me. Like,
I'm in
your chair, peasant. That kind of thing.
Shit.
Oh, is that the voice for Kira?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait a minute, was that
Kira's
your dog?
Yeah, that was my dog. Or she said, as soon as I got out of my chair, this little shit is not afraid of anything. She will come and sit in my chair, and I'll be like, haha, I'm Emily. I'm watching true crime. Haha, crochet. And I'm like, I'm
a white woman watching true crime. How original.
I don't think it helps our relationship for me making her voice, but that's okay.
Well, it sounds like it's the dog's problem. It's got an attitude problem.
Right? Just a little feisty.
Rick, do you make Emily's dog talk?
I definitely do with my own dogs and cats. And yeah, I mean, as far as characters go, yeah, I'll do with what Bob and Steve do, but occasionally it will escape verbally.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we've all got the same mental illness then. This is fine.
Oh, no,
I
I do it all the time. I will say a line. Sometimes I'll say it out loud, because especially if it's a line that's supposed to be a cool sound dialogue, something like that. Does this actually sound like somebody would say? Because for all the writers out there, people have us, the, and they stutter and they talk like that. You can't write that shit into at least not well. And like, also they don't do Shakespearean soliloquy, so you have to find that balance. So you have to sometimes say things out loud. Does this sound right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to say a cool line, like, eat shit, motherfucker. And you're like, well, would they say that? Or is that just too aggro?
You just in the middle of a parents' evening at school. Eat shit, motherfucker.
Sometimes I'll talk to the dogs in their voice, asking them questions about my books. And sometimes they answer me back in their voice. And I don't know where because both dogs have their own voice. All three cats have their own voice. Yeah. So, and my wife and I had to agree on voices that we can both kind of emulate. So, if one person can do an Australian accent, the other one can't, that voice is out. So
I had the opposite problem once. I had a girlfriend once, and she was really funny. She was like an actual proper comedian, and she had a voice for her cat, and she warned me about it. And I thought, all right, okay, everybody talks to the cat, but it was a really good voice, and she was kind of like ventriloquist level good at it. That she'd have an argument with the cat, and then as it came on, I'd start I'd be talking to the cat and she'd be answering. And I think I would start having arguments with the cat. And her cat was such a prick. The cat had a lot of really problematic views. I'm like, dude, you can't say that. And then I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about, man? The cat isn't saying that. It's your girlfriend. But I don't know.
My wife and I do that a lot.
I got really sucked into that.
Her talking. Yeah. You realize that's not the dog, that's you. And like, oh shit, yeah, that's right, my bad. So apparently we all have that same disease. So that's
good. Yeah. Okay. That's reassuring.
This question is from I think it is our friend Heinous Lizard. I look at the icon, but a lot of people are changing. I don't know why they're doing this. Everybody's like, it's just a letter and 3 dots these days. And it's I don't know what the thing. I don't know why the kids are doing this. But from H ... who I think is Heinous Lizard, what's a common trope that still draws you in as a reader?
Oh, you know what? I'm right. I don't like the word trope, to be honest. But I just started reading. There's a little bit of a, I guess, palate cleanser from the kitchens and cookies world of fantasy we're living in now, which is fine for you to like. I started reading David Gemmell, who's one of the original cheesy heroic fantasy authors, and he's good, but he is cheesy, like proper cheese. But he's very good at what he does. I think he's one of the best examples of cheesy heroic fantasy. And I'm reading Druss the Legend, who is just all muscle, chaotic good barbarian. And he's just basically, it's him, and he teams up with a smooth but priggish bard character. And once you get barbarian and bard together, that works for me.
Barbarian.
Yeah. Or if an elf is having an argument with a dwarf, I'm there. I will watch that until the dwarfs come home. But I don't think in the new Dungeons and Dragons, elves are going to have arguments with dwarfs. They're probably all just going to get along very nicely.
I'm home, Steve.
Well, I think Steve also he relates himself to the. I mean, this is the man that likes Beast from the X-Men. I think he sympathizes with the dwarf plight of the fantasy realm. So
I do have Scottish ancestry. I relate very much to.
Yeah, but why
dwarfs.
that there's a trope that annoys the shit. I mean, not every dwarf is Scottish. I know someone started it way back when. Maybe they're German. Maybe they're
No, not mate. I've met people from
You don't know.
They're dwarfs.
I don't care. No, I've seen tall Scottish people. That's not this.
No, I mean spiritually they're dwarfs. Doesn't matter how tall they are.
They're hardworking. They're industrious. They don't like the elves very much. They could be German.
Yeah, they're drunk, angry. Proletariat. Yeah, they're very much my town.
What about the rest of you? Any tropes, themes, things that like still draw you in as a reader?
I just have.
It'd be great what you said. Actually, readings kind of sucks.
Readings for nerds. I just write books. I want your money, nerds. I don't read your shit.
I don't read this shit. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for heaven and hell. Like when the biblical, once you tie biblical anything into some kind of like fantasy like story, supernatural, doesn't matter. Like for some reason, like maybe it's my old like deeply problematic Protestant upbringing. Like it still pulls me in every time. You throw an archangel, a demon, something like that. I will definitely give it a second glance every time.
Yeah. True.
I'm actually trying to think of a trope that I won't read. Yeah, I'll read. My bar for reading is pretty low. I'll read anything basically, like even the werewolf.
Did you ever read that
mob
book you
boss.
bought from me?
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, to me, like getting tired of a trope would be getting tired of rock music. I might give it a rest for a little while, but I'm not just going to abandon rock music because I'm tired of that trope. So I don't really think there's, like Emily, I don't think there's any trope that really puts me off.
There are certain tropes that like the constant deconstruction over and over and over on certain things. Like I get it. We're all edgy these days. We're all little edgelords and everything sucks. And sometimes, sometimes I just want a heroic figure to be heroic. And sometimes I want a villainous character to be villainous, and I don't need to justify their villainy sometimes. I mean, that being said, Magneto is a great example of justifiable villains. And sometimes so is the Joker, just chaos,
Yeah.
Like they both have a place.
That's true. It's kind of like deconstruction. It can be done very well, and it can be like, oh, aren't we edgy today, sir? But I think there's kind of it becomes an aching for a sincerity that's not in the current zeitgeist.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've got one. I'm going to cheat a little bit because I don't get to read a lot, but I still occasionally get movies and TV and stuff. And a trope I really like in movies and TV is fake movies or TV shows within within the movie.
The metaverse. Okay.
Yeah, like they'll have a trailer for something or an advertisement for something stupid. Like one of my favorite examples was in Seinfeld when Elaine really wanted to go see the movie Sack Lunch. Am I the only one that's seen this?
I'm not a big Seinfeld fan, but I will nod my head accordingly.
Everyone else wanted to go see The English Patient, but she wanted to see Sack Lunch. And it's got a movie poster of a family inside a brown paper bag, and she's fascinated. Are they really small, or is it a really large sack? And, all the trailers that come at the beginning of Tropic
that's
Thunder.
actually ringing a bell. Wasn't she with her? She was with that white-haired boss.
Right.
That was like over the top. Yes, and he made her go see The English Patient. She was bored. Yep.
But Sack Lunch gets me every time.
Yeah, I do like fake ads, fake movies as world building is it gets me every time. And also, I fucking love it when people break the fourth wall. That gets me every time.
All right. If we have one more question, unless anybody wants to answer. Rick, did you ever answer that question? Or am I just getting old and forgetful?
No, not really. But I mean, the truth of the matter is, I mean, there's certain tropes I can't stand that like drive me nuts. But I'm not like the whole. It's like, I've got the drop on the bad guy. Oh, look, he just grabbed my loved one, is holding a gun, and says, "Drop your weapon."
Yeah,
I hate that fucking trope because. Like literally, that's like that like back when the CW was doing the Arrowverse, that was like literally every week you would see that.
Yeah.
Oh, just to piggyback on that one, the next person writes when the villain talks to the hero, it's like, "We're not so different, you and I. Go to hell. Go fuck yourself. Get an original piece of dialogue. Stop it. Stop doing that."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When people say like, "What have I told you?" I'm like, "What have I told you to go fuck a snake?"
Yeah.
Oh, I had fun. I had fun with kind of a Lovecraftian one in one of my last books. There's the whole like basically kind of like the whole like Dagon thing where it's like, okay, eat, like the townspeople eating the flesh of the ancient god, like and becoming its thralls. I had fun with that where basically in one of my books, creatures trying to do that. It's like, oh, eat of my flesh and you will you will gain power. No. Have I mentioned I'm really delicious? No, seriously, take a bite. I taste really fucking good.
That's fucking tasty. Dude, is that oregano? That's great. Yeah. All right, last one. Last question before we close this out. From our friend C. ... Again, I don't get what this is about. I don't know what you kids or what kind of drugs you're on these days. I don't understand why you're changing your usernames to like a letter and ... I don't. Maybe I should, but I don't.
Maybe if you just expanded the window, maybe it's just
no. It is no. I have, motherfucker. It is. There is a thing going on where certain users are just changing. Maybe this is a flag at half mast thing that I don't understand what it's for. Anyway, what is your favorite get excited / pumped song? This is the song. This is your get up. This is your montage to like to kick ass that day. What is your get excited pump song?
It's a toss up between the Local H cover of Wolf Like Me or Kvelertak 1985. Both of them just some nice hard hitting guitar.
Not bad. Emily, what you got? What's your get pump song?
I like that Firestarter song by Prodigy.
That is a great one.
Yeah, it's hardcore.
Rick, what you got?
I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, if I hear
a
song,
few favorites, so
like there's certain songs I hear and they do get me pumped up, but I can't really say that like that there's one I would pick. I know I'm blanking on all of them.
It's fine. It's fine. Bevan, do you have a favorite get pump song?
Suki by Unrest.
Nice. I've two. I've got a slow burn one, not a slow, but like I'm waking up and I'm gonna have a great day. White Snakes, Here I Go Again on My Own. That one always does it. And the other one would be but once I'm up and running, it'd be Slipknot's Before I Forget. I love that opening guitar. I love that one. That every time.
Nice drums.
Yes.
I would say I do like Slipknot's Duality.
That's a good one. That's a Fingers in My Eye song, right? Yeah.
Oh, what's the band? Prevail, Gasoline. That slaps pretty hard.
So no one's gonna pick Barbie Girl. All right, fine. Fuck you guys. All right.
Well, it depends what we're getting pumped up for, Giffy.
I don't know. Okay, well, that's the thing. Okay, let's. We got a minute or two. What are we getting pumped up for? Is it to write? What's your I need to write song? This is the song I need to put me in a writing mood.
I literally do not listen to music when I write.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, it puts me off.
I have to because like the silence, my brain starts going crazy if I don't have some kind of distraction. So
that is the distraction.
Not for me. No. Silence is my biggest distraction.
I do I use music and stuff to make kind of boring work go by, but if I need to properly concentrate, I can't have music on.
I guess I'm the crazy one then. Well, on that note, Rick, walk us out.
Bye.
Well, thanks for coming to Side Quest, everybody.
Yeah, this has been Authors and Dragons Side Quest, and we're going to wrap it up now because Gibby just told me to walk us out of here. So we'll be back next week with more Authors and Dragons goodness, whether it's Dicey Bastards, whether it's a more interesting guest than we are, what have you. Until then, bye.
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 Goodbye, friend.
Pray for Drew.
Sure. Hashtag pray for Drew.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons!